Yo, yo. Hey, and Nelson talk, Nelson. Princess, they gang. Magic's bets in the cut, got the game on lock. Flipping dimes, calling shots, every move non-stop. 615 bully slayer, player odds like dice. In the trap house, betting lines, making racks feel nice. Pushing the line, we don't fold, don't shy. Cashing tickets, counting green to the sky. On the podcast, we ball, roll the spread. Money talk, never walk, bets ahead. Parlay slayer stacking chips like you bricks. Magic's calling plays, mixing schemes so slick. Numbers on the board, all these digits don't lie. In this trap house sports, best we fly. Pushing the line, we don't fold, don't shy. Cashing tickets, counting green to the sky. On the podcast, we ball, roll the spread. Money talk, never walk, bets ahead. Got your bankroll rising like the early morning sun. From parlays to straight plays, we stun. Twisted stats, breaking news, all for the gain. In this world of odds, we reign. Lines moving swift like the weight in the night. Heavy hitters in this game got the insight. Magic's with the 10th, 615 with the hit. Podcast worldwide, see us never miss. Hey, podcast worldwide, Ray, hey, and Nelson talk, Nelson, Princess, and gang. Got your bankroll rising like the early morning sun. From parlays to straight plays, we stun. Twisted stats, breaking news, all for the game. In this world of vibes, we reign.
Man, what's up, good people? What's up, Mike? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Man,
Good to hear from you this week.
this week, I mean, I don't call and
Life be
check in.
life, man.
You
Life
be
be
thinking
life.
I hate your guts if I don't check in, so gotta check in every now and then.
I just
Hey,
need to make sure you good.
hey man, when you hear from me, that's the problem. If you don't hear from me, just know that I'm good. So the quarterbacks that we went over the first week of this little series, that was cool. That was a little challenging. Running backs, that challenge stepped up, but the wide receivers, man, I was racking my brains all week.
Wide receivers is once you get outside of like the top five, maybe it's very difficult. And the order of the top five, as we'll get into, it was difficult too.
And it's all subjective. It's all about what you're looking for, whether you got a keeper league. I mean, if you already got a number one receiver in your keeper league, then you might want to hit running back first, or depending on how your
Hmm.
quarterback situation is, you might want to grab quarterback. But I usually grab a quarterback after I get a good running back and wide receiver.
Yeah, which is
Uh,
cool. We're gonna get into that today. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You were about to say something.
No, I was just finna say, the way fantasy football has changed so much that you can, in the first round, you never know what you may see now. It used to be chalk, all running backs, first round. You got to have a running back. Now, this year, honestly, your first four picks may be wide receivers.
I mean, if you want a deep team at your wide receiver, then that's a good strategy to go with because if you think about it, most leagues have one quarterback. Every now and then you'll have a league that has two quarterbacks, which is like in the league that we have because there's 10 teams. We do two starting quarterbacks. You usually do
Hmm.
two starting running backs and maybe have a flex position that could be a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. And most leagues have three wide receivers.
Yeah,
So
most of my
so it
leagues
it it gets thin.
got. Yeah, most of my leagues they have two flex players because I think people like the scoring more now.
Yeah.
So if you got two flex, then you can play three running backs, three wide receivers, or you can play, you can go chalk, you can go heavy, play two running backs, four wide receivers, or vice versa. But And you can also put a tight end in that flex position too. So
Now, when I started putting my list together this week, I literally went through every team, every wide receiver, and anybody that I thought had some relevancy on their team, their name made a list, and then I had to narrow it down to the top 10, and then the top 10 that's another top 10 that's right outside the top 10 in no particular order. And then I had categories of just names of people for a particular reason that I didn't go into detail, but I categorized some in rookies to watch. Then I had a category that were, were wide receivers that are either due for regression or they have some concerns that you need to look out for because they might not be there for the whole season. Then I had a category that was a bounce back category, or they're gonna make a jump. And then there were wide receivers that they not in your top 20, but they're steady or they're solid players that you have to look at when you get deep in 49 players on this list, man. And I had to narrow it down.
I don't even know what to
I
say.
I know you laughing at it.
Top 10.
I know top 10,
And
but
just top 10.
I
It's gonna be
know
some people left out. That's what
it's
makes it so interesting.
it's gonna be a whole lot of people left off, but it's still names that people need to know because
No, they don't.
you when you draft them and you get late in those rounds, you need to know who's gonna be relevant.
Hey, after we give you these top 10, we gave y'all a bonus 10. You better get your ass out of here. If you can't get none of them top 20, you better do some research. I do want to go over the rookies though, because I feel like
We
the rookies are important. But you got 32 teams. Some of these wide receivers, it just ain't gonna make no difference.
we can go into rookies just a little detail, but I'm gonna still give you the names that are on that list, so you'll understand. There's some good names that are
Oh,
on that good names on that
yeah,
list, but we ain't gonna go into detail about it.
I'm with you. I have a total. I wrote down a total of 28. Five of those are rookies, and I got three can't drafts, and the other, the top 10 that we do, and we always give you an extra 10 right outside of the top 10, which is kind of harder than the top 10.
It is. All right, so let's start out with the rookies. What rookie names you got?
The five I got are the five that people pretty much, well, four that people must know about. And I gave you one that I think is going to do well that people may not know about. So my five are Ted McMillan for the Panthers,
I got him.
Emeka Egbuka for the Bucks,
I got him.
Luther Burden for the Bears,
I got him.
and Matthew Golden for the Packers.
I got him.
My surprise that people may not think Xavier Restrepo for the Titans.
You know what? I really want to see him make the team, but it's iffy for him. Um, if he makes the
I
team, yes, it's because of his hard work, but at the same time, they throwing Cam Ward a bone because that's Cam Ward's guy.
That's what and that's why I have him on this list, because if he makes the team, Cam Ward is going to make sure that Xavier Restrepo, man, they had a undeniable continuity when they was in Miami. Like Restrepo was the guy.
Yeah,
If you ever watched Cam Newton in Miami play, Restrepo was his guy. And I'm pretty sure matter of fact, I ain't even got to be sure. I'm 100% positive that's why the Titans drafted him.
it is. He
And
was
I
bad for his
think,
guy.
yeah, and I just think they're going to find a way to let him make the team. I haven't seen no training camp news. I don't know how he's doing. I'm strictly basing this off the continuity of him and Cam Ward And like Trey just said, with Traylon Burks gone, that opens up a wide receiver spot for somebody.
Well, I will say that I've been keeping up with camp news. Of course, before Paz got on, then you heard a lot about Restrepo. But right now, since Paz has gotten on, the other two rookie receivers are the ones that you're hearing about. Bryce Oliver might have a chance to make the team. Most people think Van Jefferson and Tyler Lockett are locks to make the team, and you know Calvin Ridley is going to make the team. This
Yep.
team might end up carrying 7 receivers.
I got some I've been kind of harsh on Calvin Ridley, but we'll talk about him
It's
later.
understanding. So I noticed Travis Hunter was not on your list. Did you? You didn't say Travis Hunter, did you?
The reason I didn't say Travis Hunter is because I honestly think Jacksonville is going to play. I think he may have a small wide receiver package. I think because he's doing so good at corner. If you're looking at the training camp news, he's dominating at corner. He's not doing as well at receiver. So that's why I didn't put him on there because I just don't know how that's going to look.
And you know when they drafted him and said they were drafting him at receiver, I thought that was odd because I felt like he would be a better fit as a corner in the NFL to start out and then mix him in some wide receiver packages. Um,
Yeah, because he's made his name. That's how we know who Travis Hunter is because he was a corner. He
yeah,
went to go get coached by Dion because he wanted to be a great corner. He just so happens to have a God given ability to where he can play receiver like Dion and like maybe Charles Woodson or somebody. But this dude, he a corner, man. That's what he do.
I keep it brief, but the reason he made my list of rookies to watch is they got Brian Thomas. Who else they got after that? Evan Ingram gone. Uh, Christian Kirk gone. Gabriel Davis gone. They ain't got nobody else to throw to.
Well, that's why I was gonna put him on there, but then I was like, I'm so high on Brian Thomas Jr. that I'm just like, he may get all the targets.
All right, go ahead and cue up the you always got to throw somebody from Tennessee in there.
You know what?
I put Deontay Thornton on my list of rookies to watch.
Oh, before we do that, they did. Now I don't know how important this is, but they did get De'Ami Brown from Washington.
You right,
So,
they did.
but on depth chart, it does have Travis Hunter as wide receiver too. So we'll see how it work out.
Deontay Thornton is another rookie to watch. There's not a lot of people to throw at. Yes, I know he's a Tennessee player, but there's not a lot of people to throw at other than Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers and at the Raiders. And his skill
Hmm.
set mixes well for the NFL. Keep that brief. We can move on.
All right. So you ready to get into it?
Nah, I'm gonna run down some names that are on this list that we ain't gonna really talk about, but I want
No,
people to
I'm saying
see.
before you let me throw something out here that I'm sure they want us to touch on because it's been a huge topic. I'm sure y'all have seen. Anytime I can get a cowboy dig in there, I'm gonna do it. But
Oh
this is
yeah,
really not even a dig. This is a more so of we tried to tell you. So I'm sure you've seen everything going on. Michael Parsons, he made this long post on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. He wants out of Dallas. The reason why I'm bringing this up is this doesn't sound like a trade request. This sounds like, hey, I want to go. Like, I don't even want the money no more. I want to get the hell up out of here kind of request. That's what this sounds like. This sounds more personal than it does financial now.
I think it is because Jerry Jones is trying to have these closed door meetings without the guy's agent there, which I feel like is basically trying to get him to take less money than what he's worth.
Absolutely. And if y'all know Michael Parsons and you keep up with this, Michael Parsons has probably the most known and well respected agent in the NFL. I don't know how you say his last name, David Mugoletta. I think that's how you say it. But whenever you see most of these people getting these big time contracts, he's the guy. Um, so he's up there with like the Scott Boris's, and I forgot the other dude that used to be
The
highly
shark,
spoken about.
the shark.
I forgot his name, but yeah, him. Uh, he was
He's
used to be all on TV and everything.
he's still agent. He Tyreek Hill's agent.
Is he?
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I can't even think of his name right now.
I can't either, but I
Golly,
wish I knew his name.
no, we finna look it
Uh,
up real quick. Keep
but
talking.
yeah, to try to have those backdoor meetings like that, that's exactly what it is. I want him to take less money, and he doesn't like it. You know, Jerry Jones has said so. Drew Rosenhaus, that's his name.
That's him. I'm glad you thought
But
of it.
yeah, I felt like we had to touch on that. We'll see how it go. But this this is the problem that I have with Dallas, and I had this conversation in my group chat. For some reason, people think it's hate, and for whatever reason, my team just won the goddamn Super Bowl. What the hell reason do I have to hate? At the end of the day, it's honesty.
Yeah.
So I was told that uh, they've had stacked teams recently. Tony Romo was better than Dak. And the reason that they didn't win was because they didn't have a defense. And I said that's Jerry's fault. So if you had a quarterback which you think is that good for 14 years, and you only had a good defense 1 year, what happened to all those 13 years? Who is in charge of helping you build that defense? If you think Tony Romo and that offense is that good, who's in charge of helping you draft and build that defense? It damn sure wasn't Tony Romo.
Start at the top.
We can move on.
Hmm.
So before we get into this, I got a couple of fun facts that I wanted to throw to y'all. Of course, we're doing fantasy wide receivers today. We had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. Do you know what team has the most Hall of Famers in the NFL Hall of Fame?
If I had to guess, I don't know. Is it San Francisco? No, Chicago Bears.
It is the Chicago Bears with 39. Second place is Green Bay. They got 36.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Pretty good that had Houston and Jacksonville each only have one, and that's Andre Johnson and Tony Baselli. And lastly, statistically speaking, Cooper Cup had the greatest wide receiver fantasy season ever. He had the most catches, the most yards, and he was one off from the most touchdowns. Now, they will tell you if you watch TV that only five people have won the Triple Crown, which is Jerry Rice, Steve Smith, Sterling Sharp, who just went in the Hall of Fame, Jamar Chase, Cooper Cup. That's really not accurate. It is for modern era. If you ask somebody if they still living, they got to be over damn near 100 years old. But Don Hudson won the Triple Crown 5 times, and he won it 4 years straight in the
Don Hudson played for
early
the Chargers, right?
1940s. He did.
Okay.
Lance Allworth also played for the Chargers. He won, and Elroy Crazy Legs Hurst also won, including a host of others, but those are the names that y'all would know. Back to
All
you,
right.
Skip.
All right. Speaking of names, of course, it sounds like my list was a little bit long than yours. So what I'll do is I'll tell you the category. I give you the names just to give you the names. If you want to touch on one of those names, we'll touch on it. Other than that, I'll move on to the next list.
Okay.
All right. So these are wide receivers that I had listed as due for regression, or there was some kind of concern, whether they're missing games, possible injury concerns, or legal concerns. The reason I'm saying I probably wouldn't touch these in early rounds at all. Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Rasheed Rice, Adam Thielen, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs.
I ain't got none of them on my screen.
Okay. So I take it you agree with those.
Only one I do is Rasheed Rice. And the reason why is because I have him like on a watch list. Of course, I don't know when this suspension is going to happen, but that's the biggest thing. He's going to miss some time somewhere. It's coming back from an injury. Uh, if Kelsey is on a decline, the way they say Kelsey is on a decline, which he's still gonna get his target share because that's Mahomes' guy. What is that going to? Will that boost him to the number one target? And also, you got Hollywood Brown, you got Travis Kelce. So
Xavier Worthy.
let's see Xavier Worthy. So let's see what this offense looks like before we just go crazy and say Rasheed Rice, because he did look good last year. Before he got
Yeah,
hurt, he did look good. So he's on my watch list, but I ain't even them other names you said.
they ain't even on your list, which makes me feel better. All right.
Mm-mm.
Then I've got a list of players that I either think are gonna bounce back because they didn't have such a great year or they haven't had a great couple of years, or they're gonna make a jump because whatever stats they had last year, they're gonna make a decent jump this year because of the situation they're in. Um, this list is a little longer. Keon Coleman, Roman Wilson, Kashawn Butte, Hunter Renfro, Adonai Mitchell, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, Marvin Mims, Jalen Waddell, Hollywood Brown, Quentin Johnson, Debo Samuel, Roma Dunze, Xavier Leggett, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Godwin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jalen McMillan, and Brandon Ayuk.
That's a cool list. I have three of the people on my can't draft list or won't draft list. You got on there. That's Chris
Uh,
Godwin,
okay.
that's Jalen Waddle, that's Chris Olave. I'm not touching.
Yeah. Waddell's been down the past couple of years since he had that 107 reception season. He's been on decline.
Mm-hmm.
But if his quarterback is healthy, he has the opportunity to make a jump or bounce back. I'd say on him. Who was the other two that you had on there? Chris Godwin. The injury
Chris
concerns.
Godwin.
I almost put him on the do not touch list, but he doesn't have to be the wide receiver number one. They've got so many
I think
receivers there that he get a chance to recover.
that sentence right there is why I got him on can't draft, because I feel like Egbuka and McMillan, that's just gonna transition, especially if he get hurt this year. If
Yep,
he get hurt this year, that may be it.
I
So
agree.
he either ball out or that may be a wrap for him.
And
As
who was
far as
your third
Chris
one?
Olave go, Chris Olave, they don't have a
Okay,
quarterback.
you're right. But he has the opportunity to bounce back because he will be the number one target.
And then two, he has a bad concussion problem. The more concussions you have, the shorter your career may be. He may be forced into retirement. Now they do get Rashid Shaheed back. They get Jawan Johnson back. The reports is that he's healthy. Of course, Kamara is going to get his share. But the problem is, who's going to get them the ball to even be productive? Looking at the training camp stuff, Tyler Slaw, as you call him, he looks awful.
Hmm.
So it looked like it may be Spencer Rattler again, because he really don't have much competition.
Something tells me that somewhere after somebody get cut from training camp, that the Saints might try to pick up a quarterback because they don't really have much there.
Jameis Winston.
I
If
mean,
you
I
get
I
Jameis
like that.
Winston, I'll take Chris Olave off this list.
Okay. So my next list, once these top 20 that we're gonna go over is gone in your fantasy football draft, these are solid players that you should look at if there's a run on wide receivers. Any of these names will be value picks because they get their catches, they get their stats, but I wouldn't say that they're a superstar. Some of them are number one wide receivers on their team, but as you say, they're not a number one wide receiver. So they already you already know one person that's on that list by me saying that. Uh, but they're steady. They're gonna get you some catches. They're gonna get you some stats. They'll be a good third wide receiver on your team. You'll be good to go. Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr., Darnell Mooney, Wandale Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Jordan Addison, Jerry Judy, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, Xavier Worthy, Jacoby Myers, George Pickens, Devontae Smith, Mike Evans, Jawan Jennings, Cooper Cup. And before you say anything, Some people gonna be like, "This couple that should probably be in top 20. They just outside of it."
Yeah, I got a few of them in my top 20.
Uh huh. And it's subjective, and you probably have a good reason why they're in your top 20. Just like I got a good reason why they're not in my top 20.
I like it. I'm ready. I'm good. Let's go. We
Ooh,
already we already touched on one, so I'm ready to roll.
so this next 10 that we got are people that are outside the top 10, and I've got mine in no particular order. If you want to kick it off, or I'll kick it off. I don't care.
Well, you kind of already did for me. Rasheed Rice was one of mine.
Okay. You had him in your top 20?
I do.
I didn't put him there for, well, of course his legal situation, but I mean,
Hmm.
I think Patrick Mahomes might be stepping back just a little bit. They still got Kelsey. He's gonna get some targets. When Hollywood Brown came back at the end of the year last year, he was getting targets. He started to look good. Then they got Xavier Worthy, which he's gonna get the deep ball. They still got Juju Schuster. He's gonna get a couple targets, but he's not gonna be much. I think Rasheed Rice is probably gonna be their 2A at wide receiver.
Yeah. See, you got him two. I got him one. Because if Travis Kelsey doesn't get those catches and those targets, I think they're gonna come to him because he's the big receiver. He looked like he was fixing to be the guy. He was getting the 6, 7, 8 catches in the 60-yard games, and if he get a touchdown, 8 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown, that's 20 points in fantasy. And I think that may be his floor. Whereas I'm not as big on Xavier Worthy because I feel like he's the gadget guy. And
Yep,
I feel like Hollywood Brown may be the deep threat.
yep.
But when you got to go get that 3rd and 5 and you need a big dude that can post up and grab that 3rd and 5 like it's a rebound, I feel like that's what Patrick Mahomes, when he get outside that pocket and he excel, I think if it's not Kelsey, it's him.
I can agree. I can agree with your reasoning, and with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy being the deep threats, that'll open up a lot for him. Uh, Jennings makes me nervous with his contract issues. Exactly, Trey. I agree with that. Um, he could get traded, which would throw off some chemistry. He could
Hmm.
hold out, which could also throw off some chemistry and a bunch of other shit. Mike Evans, I mean, he could be in somebody's top 20. Devontae Smith, George Pickens, all of them could be in somebody's top 20.
Yeah, the thing with Juwan Jennings, if Ayuk is healthy, Kittle is healthy, Pearsall is healthy, and he's healthy, he's the 4th option at that point. If McCaffrey is healthy, he's the 5th option at that point. So that's why I didn't even put him. And as good as he played, I understand why he wanted a new contract. Debo's gone, Ayuk is out. It was Kittle, it was Pearsall. Pearsall had the gunshot wound or whatever. Kittle, he was sometimes banged up. No McCaffrey. So he's just trying to capitalize off a good season that he had last year, which I'm not faulting him for it, but I just don't think that they're willing to pay him what
I'm a
he
Jen-
wants right now.
I'm a Jennings fan. Love him to death. But if he got traded to the Titans, I'd be upset because I wouldn't want to give him that contract myself.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. So who's
one
next on your?
one name I got in mind. Um, he just signed a new contract. He is wide receiver number one on his team, Cortland Sutton.
Okay. I don't even have Colin Sutherland on my list at all.
He's not. Wow. I mean,
No,
look
I'm
at
not
look.
saying that he's bad.
Oh, see, I
I did
understand.
this top 20.
Yep.
Once I say these 20 and why, they'll understand why. But
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
Colin Sutton, he's a baller. Like
He
he
he's
I like Colin Sutton.
he
Yeah.
got his money. He's gonna get his targets. Um, Having Evan Ingram there is gonna take a little pressure off of him, and it's gonna open him up a little bit.
Hmm. I like Troy Franklin as well.
deep threat.
with that team. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they've got Devontae Valet. He played pretty decent last year. I won some
Hmm.
money on him last year. Nobody really paid attention to him, but I placed several bets on him and won just about every last one of them.
So my next one is Mike Evans. You had him outside of your top 20. He reliable future Hall of Famer. He gets 1,000 yards every season.
Yep.
That's go ahead, book it. It is what it is. Also, what you can book, he gonna miss at least 3 or 4 games because he gonna fuck up that hamstring somewhere in the season.
I mean,
Um,
he's getting up there in age.
yeah, absolutely. He's getting up there in age. Um, Baker Mayfield is comfortable giving him the ball, but they also got a new offense coming, so I don't know what that's going to look like, which is going to make Baker Mayfield, I feel like, rely more on Mike Evans because that's his safe space. Now, he missed 3 games last year, but he was arguably on pace to have his best season since 2018. The only reason that I got him so low is because that wide receiver room gets more crowded when you draft a Buka and Chris Godwin comes back. And if he's relatively healthy, he's going to get targets as well. And we ain't even said nothing about Cade Otton and Jalen McMillan. So, not to also mention that
Bucky
you
Irvin.
have 2 running backs. Yeah, you got Bucky Irvin and Rashad White that can catch the ball out the backfield.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have him higher, but I do feel like 1,000 yards. I think he all right.
Top 10 talent, but there's reasons he's either not in my top 20 or he's on your top 20.
Mm-hmm.
This next one, I could have put him on the list of people to make a jump, but at the same time, um, when he came back last year, he went ahead and kind of made that jump. Jameson Williams, Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I don't have him on my list at all either.
You better watch out for him. Everything I'm hearing out of camp, he looked better than he did last year. And then when Amon Ross Brown was not open, this guy was.
The thing about it, I did my top 20. And after that, it was either you a rookie or you just I ain't even fooling with you. So it's like a host of people on here. I'm not saying don't draft them. I'm just saying like they not in my top 20. Now Jameson Williams, he's a hell of a wide receiver. If it wasn't for St. Brown, he'd probably be the number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
He's a burner. He's a deep threat. I would like to see him just regular route running, getting the 8, 9, 10 yard catches in traffic. That may not be his game. I don't really see him getting a high volume of catches. He may, but I also have to factor in that they have Sam Laporta. They got Tim Patrick. You got Jameer Gibbs out of the backfield. So that's why I left him off the list because last year when he had his good games, it was because he had a 50, 60, 70 yard touchdown pass. If he don't get that, you literally taking if it's a 50-yard touchdown pass and he don't get it, that's 11 points off his score. So, but he's still dynamic and is always that threat. So I understand why you got him on there.
So
Definitely.
I need to rewind because looking at my list, I don't know how this name and I don't know how I didn't pay attention that I had him in this section. I actually do have Mike Evans in the top 20. I don't know how he
No,
ended up on the other list, but yes, he was my next one. So we went over him. He was in my top 20. My fault. My bad.
all good, all good. So it's on me. My next one is Terry McLaurin. The reason I got Terry McLaurin that had bad quarterbacks, still get 1,000 yards. He finally has a good quarterback, and they don't want to pay him. He wants to get traded. He put in for a trade. He's having a contract dispute, which is why I got him so low. Last year, he had another solid year. He had 82 catches, 1,100 yards. He had a career high 13 touchdowns. But now you got Debo Samuel there. Austin Eckler is going to be healthy, and they're going to get him involved. Zach Ertz, he takes targets. That's what he do. You still got Luke McCaffrey there. Senate is gonna come in and get some targets. I think the reason I got him so low is because I don't think he gonna get 13 touchdowns again. Like that's just he completely shattered his career high with that many touchdowns. So if it comes down to like 8, that's why I got him so low.
You know, I agree with everything you said, and he is in my 10 outside of my top 10.
Now if he gets traded, then we may have to revisit this because then we looking at okay, who does he go to?
The rumors I am hearing is if he is traded, keep an eye out for the New England Patriots
Then I won't have him on this list at all.
at all. Okay.
And the thing
Uh,
about, and I want y'all to understand this about Terry McLaurin, he wants to get paid. He came into the same draft as DK Metcalf. The problem is DK Metcalf is 2 years younger than him. They have pretty much the same production throughout their whole career. Both of them are good wide receivers. They're not like Hall of Fame trajectory wide receivers, but they are good wide receiver ones, right? So he wants the same contract as DK Metcalf. He wants 32 million. But you know, once you hit that age of 30, they ain't really trying to fool with you. So keep an eye out on that, and we'll see what he get.
I agree. Um, this guy that is on my list, he is wide receiver one on his team. He, if he had consistency at quarterback, has the talent to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. He also played college ball at the same place Terry McLaurin played.
He on my list too.
Gary Wilson.
Who?
Gary Wilson.
Oh no, never mind. That's not the same person.
Hey, when it comes to Ohio State wide receivers, man, you can talk about a whole lot of people. But
Yeah, my
I
bad,
actually
my bad.
I know who you thinking about. He's next on my list. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, man, he's got all the talent in the world. But Justin Fields is not necessarily a passing quarterback. You can put a system around him where he can make that first or second read and get the ball out, and he'll be all right. But he's gonna have to build some chemistry with Garrett Wilson because Garrett Wilson will be his go-to. But because of those concerns, he is not in my top 10.
Yeah, and it's weird because I didn't put him on my list at all. But they were college teammates
Yes,
with Chris Olave.
yes.
It's weird because when you watched him play, Justin Fields, he threw the ball. He was a throwing quarterback. He was mobile, of course. It's like when he got in the NFL, he stopped passing and just became a complete running quarterback.
You know who else they said the same shit about? Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and when you used to watch Louisville, I'm like,
He was passing.
this this man cold.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is a victim of the Chicago Bear curse that's been going on. I truly think he can throw the ball, given if he has talent around him.
Well,
Once they got DJ Moore, he force fed DJ Moore the ball because that was like I always say, that's his safe space. I think he's going to do the same thing with Garrett Wilson. I think he's just going Garrett Wilson just gonna get so many targets, he's just gonna get sick of it because
so
that's gonna be his safe space.
so with
But I
Justin
will
Fields,
tell you
oh,
this.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good, you good. I'm gonna tell you this, then you got it. I think the person that's going to benefit the most out of the Jets getting Justin Fields and Gary Wilson signing his extension, we talked about him last week. I think Brees Hall got the potential to be huge for this offense. But go ahead.
I think part of the problem with Justin Fields' development was coaching in Chicago, and a lot of that came out last year when Caleb Williams pretty much said that he was watching film himself. He didn't have anybody coaching him to watch film.
Mm-hmm.
So the quarterbacks there, while that regime was there, probably got failed because they didn't have the coaching they needed.
I'm 100% with you on that.
All right, your turn. Who you got?
I love him so much. I feel like he needs to be an honorable mention 10, but my next one is Devontae Adams. So he's playing along Puka, which is gonna help him. He's already he's so reliable. He's just reliable, period. Um, I feel like this is the best quarterback he's had since he played with the young Aaron Rodgers. When him and Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay. I feel like he's still a top three route runner, probably ever in the game. He had over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns in only 14 games. He missed 3 games before being traded. So if you want to inflate his stats over those 3 games, let's say he could have had 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns last season, which is still a hell of a season, which puts you right at top 10, if not in top 10. And I feel like Matthew Stafford understands what he has in Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, potentially, he could finish as a top 10. Him and Puka could both finish in the top 10 this year. I feel like they just as good as T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
So I've got Devontae Adams on my list of the 10 that's outside the top 10, and to me,
Hmm.
he was the third one out.
He was around there. I just dropped him down because I wanted to shed some light on some other people who we
So
may not talk about a lot.
I think he will start out a little slow because they've got to build some chemistry. Puka is
Hmm.
still the guy there. Devontae will come in. He will make his presence known, and he will help out late in the season, if you ask me. So I agree with you. So this next guy, I believe, is the guy that you thought I was talking about when I was talking about Ohio State wide receivers,
Hmm.
and uncertainty at quarterback. But he is the number one wide receiver on his team now, and he became that about midway through the season, which made his counterpart expendable to get traded. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-mm.
That's not who you thought I was talking about.
Mm-mm.
Well, he's outside of my top 10, but I got him in my top 20 because he's gonna get the volume, and he's the guy in Seattle now.
I'm with you. He's outside of my 10 too, but that's just not the one I was talking about.
Okay, I mean, let me know when we get there.
He next. He's actually next. But since we on him, yeah, he like you said, 100% correct. It's his job. He took the number one spot.
Yeah,
That's how good he was. He took it.
as a rookie.
Um, the only thing, the only setback I got for him, I don't know what Sam Darnold gonna look like. That's my only problem. What is Sam Darnold gonna look like? And another problem, they hired Clint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator, and he loves to run the ball.
And they
But
got
I
two good
think
running
what
backs.
they do got two good running backs in Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, which kind of moves Kenneth Walker up the list as far as running back go. I think what will help him because he is the guy. I still think Cooper Cup got some left,
He does.
and they got Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Who
But
can't catch
if
cold?
Sam Darnold cannot catch nothing, can't catch COVID if you put him in a room full of people that got it. But I think JSN can easily be if Sam Darnold looks like the Sam Darnold that played for Minnesota them first few months of the season, I think he got top 10 wide receiver potential too. So I'm with you on that one.
I don't know who this next person is.
You want me to go ahead and go?
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay. Yeah. He was just outside of my top 20.
Yeah. So last week when we was talking about running backs, we had the section on Ashton Genty, and it was a popular topic on the show and off the show. A few people hit me up about it, and they kind of agreed. I listened to what they had to say. Me and John had we had a discussion about it, and his points was good, just like mine was. This is my thing about Marvin Harrison Jr. that I'm trying to warn people about. Genty, he had a good season. It just wasn't a great season for what we had him going. We had him going late first ahead of people that was already established. He only had 2 100-yard receiving games last year. To draft him where you draft him at, he need to at least have seven or eight. And he had 8 touchdowns, but half of those came in the first 4 weeks of the season. So you looking at week 5 on down to week 17, he only had 4 more touchdowns. Also, you got to factor in Trey McBride. We all got big plans. We think Trey McBride may be tight end 1 this coming up season. So you got that. And you got a quarterback that he has all the potential in the world, but with him, you just never know.
Got to be able to see over the line, boss.
Yeah, so I want to put Marvin Harrison in that top 10. It's just so much. When it's a lot of unknown around you, it kind of drops your value for me. But he's so damn good and he's so reliable. I feel as though, man, he got top 5 potential, honestly. But we'll see.
So this next one I got, his quarterback was a rookie last year. Um, his quarterback before that force fed him the ball. His quarterback last year didn't have any coaching per se. DJ Moore. I think he will
Wow.
benefit from the coaching of Ben Johnson. He will play that role that Amon-Ra St. Brown plays. They're going to give him the ball. Last year, he had 98 receptions for 966 yards and 6 touchdowns. He could have been on the bounce back list, but I do got him in my top 20.
You know I don't have him on here.
I can understand that. There's reason. I mean, he's in a new offense. He's got a second year quarterback. I mean, I can understand why
I
he's
feel
not in
like
your
I
top
should.
20.
I feel like I should have had him on here. It's just something so morally wrong about picking a Chicago Bear wide receiver.
Traditionally, it doesn't calculate because over the
Yeah,
past
that's
few
it.
years, name a great wide receiver from Chicago.
I don't think they've had one since Marty Booker, and he only had like one good season. That's I can't think of one.
The best wide receiver I could think of that they had was on the '85 Chicago Bears team, and he wasn't great.
Willie Go.
Willie go.
Marty Booker, seriously, is the only one. If I'm missing somebody, I
Dude,
can't think of
I
it.
even forgot that name.
I remember Marty Booker because he had one hell of a season and he made that great catch. And that's kind of etched in my head. Also, he wasn't even a receiver, but he was an all-around Matt Forte. He had those couple of good ass years before he got hurt.
I hadn't heard the name
But
Marty Booker in years.
I got one for you that's right outside of my top 10, and you may fall on the floor. Calvin Ridley. So I've been telling T Calvin Ridley is not a wide receiver 1. He's the wide receiver 1. I don't feel like he's but I feel like, and I'm predicating this strictly off if they just let Cam Ward go out there and be Cam Ward. I feel like Calvin Ridley may be in the best situation where he can have a Pro Bowl season. I'm not worried about Tyler Lockett. I ain't worried about Van Jefferson. I ain't worried about Okonkwo. He's the unquestioned number 1 on this team. And whenever you got a rookie quarterback or you got a backup quarterback, whoever they pay the most money to on offense, that's who's going to get the ball. I can't stress that to you enough. If they pay you, you're going to get the ball. I feel like he's going to have a huge target share coming off a season where he only had 64 catches and 4 touchdowns. I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna blame that on Will Levis. But
Okay.
this is my last year. I'm Calvin Ridley. Show up and show out. Because if not, you're going on the can't draft list next year.
Yeah. I had him just outside of my top 20 because yes, he has a rookie quarterback. That's my team. I had to take my feelings out of it. So that's why he's
Hmm.
outside of my top 20. And like you said, he may not be a number one wide receiver on half the teams in the league, but he is the wide receiver one on this team. I think Aguanquo, he's gonna get a bunch of targets. Outside of that, I don't think Lockett gonna get a whole bunch. I don't think the rookie wide receiver is gonna get a whole bunch. Calvin really is that guy.
Yeah, and then too, one of the things that after you get your horses, your thoroughbreds, your people that you really want, look at teams that you know, especially when you drafting wide receivers. If you know that team ain't gonna be good and they got a pretty good wide receiver, you may want to get them, or they gonna have to throw the ball to stay in the game, or they gonna do something like that. So just be mindful of stuff like that when you get into those like fourth and fifth rounds, and because really, when we talk about fantasy, after you get past, I'm gonna say those first 3 rounds, between round 4 and 10, or I'm gonna say 4 through 12, that's when you really gotta think. You really gotta know who the hell you want and why you want them. Because after the 12th round, you pretty much getting defense and kicker then, or just people that you're taking a flyer on. But you can win your draft. Pretty much you are going to win your draft who you pick after the 4th round through the 12th round.
So next
Moving,
big boy,
is it my turn?
I think it is your turn, and I will say I hope one of your next what you got two left in your top. I mean before the
Yeah, I
top
got
10.
2 left. Hmm.
Um, my two that I have left, I ain't gonna say no names. I'm gonna let you get yours in. Would be in the top 10 if they were on any other teams other than what they own right now. I want to see if either one of them's on that list for you.
Is either one in, how many of them in the NFC out of them
One,
two?
one in the NFC, one
What?
in the AFC.
Oh yeah, we ain't gonna agree then. So my next one, right outside of the top 10, I wanted to put him in there, but it's Lad McConkey. He's like 11B or C.
Mm.
Uh, I felt like, man, he just came on the scene and he pretty much dominated last year. Pretty much dominated. It was a bit of surprise. The only reason I didn't put him in there, man, is because of his coach, Harbaugh and Greg Roman. They want to run the damn ball. That's what they want to do. They want to run the ball, play good defense. They just signed Najee Harris. They got Omarion Hampton. You know what's coming. He had 112 targets last season. They added Trey Harris. I think Quentin Johnston can take a big step, but I love me some Lad McConkey. I feel like he's going to get the target share. He's going to be the guy. This is not no slight on Lad. This is a slight on what's around him and their philosophy of how they want to play football in LA. This ain't got nothing to do with Lad.
Now in LA last year, yes, they were a run first offense, but later on in the year, as they got comfortable with the offense, they
They
did start to
started throwing
pass
that
more.
rock. Mm-hmm.
So having a full off season of this offense and pretty much everybody back, um, I mean, I think he's gonna get some more balls than he did. I think he's gonna get
And
more
that's
balls.
what I'm banking on. And also Quentin Johnston, he stepped up.
Yeah,
So now people like, okay, Quentin Johnston, he might actually be good. So we gotta lean over there a little bit more.
yep.
So if he continue his progression and Trey Harris come in and he is a solid 2 or 3, Lag gonna eat
And
all
I
day.
can't take credit for my next comment because Mike has said this over and over and over again in our conversations. Um, Keenan Allen has a visit with the Chargers this week. They may end up signing him.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah. How you gonna forget about it and you keep telling me?
I was so entrenched in this that I forgot because he ain't on the team yet. So
Okay.
I just, if he gets on the team,
All
that
right.
that
So
may hurt
it,
huge Quentin Johnston more than it's gonna hurt Ladd.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Um. So this next name on my list, I mean, I could go with either one of these as two people that would be in top 10 if it wasn't for the teams that they were on. I'm gonna go with T Higgins first.
In my top 10. No, he
If
not.
T
No, he not.
if T Higgins did not have Jamar Chase on the other side, he would be in my top 10.
You know what? I skipped over T. Higgins. Go ahead. He's right
I
here.
mean,
He's in my next 10 out. Somehow I skipped. He's in between Devontae Adams and JSN. But go ahead. Go ahead. You're
okay,
right. Go
yeah,
ahead.
man. Hey, he is. It's hard to call him 1A because it's Jamar Chase over there. But if Jamar Chase wasn't on, T Higgins was. I mean, shit. I'm scared of that wide receiver core they got. Any team they go up against is gonna get hell.
I feel like what's their owner's name? GM, whatever he is.
The owner is Brown.
I feel like he's about to go into Jerry Jones territory.
You think he gonna get
You
involved in
got
all the money?
you got an offense right now. This offense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. This offense is good enough to win 2, 3 Super Bowls. They already got you to one.
You gotta have a defense though.
You pay, you got, I don't even think it's a question no more. They the best wide receiver duo in the game. Got arguably the best quarterback in the game. You got rid of Joe Mixon, and to your surprise, you got arguably top 10 running back in the game. You got a good tight end. You got good pieces around you. Your offensive line, which they maligned you for, it got better. So T. Higgins got paid. He stayed, like you said, he stays with Chase. He's a big red zone target. He has to stay healthy. He missed 5 games. They went 1-4. So if he plays last season, if he stays healthy and he plays all 5 games, because look, they barely lost all those games by like one possession. Well, except for one against Philadelphia. They lost 37-13. I ain't bragging. That's just facts. The one game they did win was against the Raiders. They started out the season 0-2 because he didn't play in those 2 games, and they was against bad teams. The first one was against New England. So you gotta say, if they went 1-4, they probably would have won 2 of those games. They would have went to the playoffs. You wouldn't have wanted to see Cincinnati in the playoffs last year
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not at all.
because they was hot. They was on
Uh,
fire them
They,
last
they
little five
almost
weeks of the
snuck in.
season. They almost snuck in. If Denver loses that last game, they get in. And if you recall, the last game Denver played was against Kansas City, and they was clamoring for Denver can't let Denver win because we do not want Cincinnati in the playoffs. So I'm with you, man, on T. Higgins, man. He just stay healthy. You got your money. You there. I just this they're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. Who you
I
got?
completely forgot about T. Higgins.
That's all right.
So my last one, I wanted to put him in top 10 because I just feel like I think people not really understanding this dude, man. It's Tyreek Hill. The thing about Tyreek Hill, he had a wrist injury last year. He didn't have Tua for about 2 months. If Tua stays healthy, Tyreek Hill is going to be a wide receiver 5, if not better. Devon Achane can be a top 5 running back, if not better. If this whole operation depends on Tua. He didn't have Tua. He only had 100-yard games last year. I get it. He had some off the field stuff. He had another kid. He had the incident with the police stuff. It's really not much to say. But just look at his stats when Tua is healthy and look at his stats when Tua is not. That's why I can't put him in the top 10 because I can't depend on Tua being healthy.
That's
So
why I couldn't put him in my top 20, is because I can't depend on Tua being healthy. Um, but I did have him in that steady category where if there starts to become a run on wide receivers and he's still there, you better grab him because he's still gonna get you the stats.
if we just saying, let's say Tua stay healthy for 14 games and miss 3,
Then we'll be
you
like,
gonna
why was he
wish
not in the top 10?
that you picked Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Are we in the top 10 now?
No, no, no. I got one more left that's right
Oh,
outside of my top
okay,
10.
okay.
And I didn't hear his name, so something tells me that you got him in your top 10, and it probably has some emotional attachment to it. But AJ Brown, if he was on any other team, he would be in my top 10. But with that
Oh yeah.
offense, they are gonna run. They're gonna spread the ball around because you got Goddard, you got Devontae Smith, you got AJ Brown. I mean, shit. Touches at the goal line are gonna be gone, so he won't be catching the ball a whole lot in the red zone if they down within the 5. But they're gonna tush
Mm-hmm.
push. But AJ Brown is top 10 talent, but he's just outside of my top 10.
It is a reason why you haven't heard his name.
All right, all right. uh, so you want to do your number 10?
Yeah, mine is Drake London. I ain't gotta give you no trivia. Uh he's not a name that everybody would think would be in there, but he finished fourth in receiving last year. Got a new quarterback, got a new coaching staff that Zach Robinson prioritizes passing the ball. He had the fourth most targets in the red zone. The only question mark with Drake London I got is can Darnell Mooney and Kyle Pitts, for the love of God, do anything? You got the number one RB fantasy wise in the backfield. So they can't key on you because if they key on you, he gonna kill them. So you got everything lined up. The only thing we need Penix to do what Penix does, which is spin it, because that's what he do.
He does.
And we just need Kyle Pitts and Darnell Mooney to be some form of consistent target. And Drake London, he gonna be on his way. In a weak division, might I add.
Yeah, I mean 100 catches, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. You cannot argue with that. That was a breakout season. Can he continue? I hope he can because I had him at number 9.
Okay.
We already talked about my number 10,
Who?
Lad McConkey.
Okay. I got you. Will that work?
I, I I didn't want to say nothing when we were talking about him because he was in my top 10. I didn't want nobody to know where he was. So yeah, that's where I've got Lad at. I think Lad.
Which,
I think he makes. I think he makes a little jump,
which he
and
should be up there.
yeah, he already had wide receiver 1 numbers.
Mm-hmm. Man, and now I'm looking at. I really wanted to put Lad McConkey in the top 10. I really did. I was fighting between him and Drake London. I just felt like Drake had more things around him than Lad.
I
So
mean, honestly, the
so
list is hard. The list is hard. I mean, it
oh
literally
yeah,
took me looking at the list 2 or 3 times during the week just to make sure I felt that way.
most definitely, man. So it's on me with my number 9.
Ooh,
My number
yeah.
9 is Nico Collins. Uh, he missed 5 games last season, still had 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Uh, the thing why I dropped him so low because he was so high last year. I don't think Tank Dell is going to play this season. If he do, it'll be late in the season. Um, Stephon Diggs is gone. They did get Christian Kirk, but I don't really think that's going to interfere with his target share.
Yeah.
And they lost Laramie Tunsil, your best offensive line, which offensive line caused a lot of CJ Stroud struggles last year because he got sacked the most. So knowing you got your franchise quarterback, the one thing that I would have done is make sure that he got a good offensive line in front of him because CJ Stroud arguably can be a top five quarterback in the game. Um, but they do. Nick Caley, he's new offensive coordinator, came from Sean McVay. So if they can, if that offensive line can hold up and CJ Stroud got time, I think Nico Collins goes right back into being Nico Collins.
And I agree with that. And because of that, and the fact that Tank Dell is going to be out, Christian Kirk will be more of a slot wide receiver. Nico Collins will get his targets. I had him at number 7.
Okay, so we right on Paul.
Now my number 8, he the man on his team, Brian Thomas Jr.
That is my number 8.
Okay, we agree on something.
So let me go ahead. Go ahead with your
No, you
Brian
go ahead. No,
Thomas, and
no,
then I
no, no.
said,
You go right on ahead.
well, he finished third in receiving last year. He averaged 14 fantasy points per game. He finished as wide receiver 4, so that tells you the potential he has. And this is with Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence, just not a full Trevor Lawrence season. Um, I think one thing that benefits him, Liam Cohen is there.
Yep.
That should help Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence plays better, Brian Thomas plays better. Also, although I don't have Travis Hunter on my list, if Travis Hunter can come in and be that reliable wide receiver too, it only helps the wide. It only is going to help Brian Thomas Jr. that much more. I need ETN to step his ass up and do something. Catch the damn ball. Look worth something this year. Not drafting you, but do something.
I mean, 87 catches for 1,282 yards, 10 touchdowns, with a mixture of Trevor Lawrence at quarterback and Mac Jones at quarterback. Um, Without an offensive minded coach, now you have an offensive guru, a quarterback whisperer, and Liam Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
My question is he going to let the offense coordinator do his job and call the plays? Or is he going to try to be like Brian Callahan was his first year and call the plays?
I hope he calls the play. If it can help Trevor Lawrence look like CJ Stroud, call the damn play. I mean, not CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry,
Baker.
because he,
Baker.
yeah, Baker
Hold on.
Mayfield.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting to hear somebody say what is it, Baker Landfill? Alright. So that was we both had him at number 8. I told you who my 7th was. Who's your 7th?
See, this is why I was fighting between him and Brian Thomas Jr. for 8 and 7. AJ Brown is my 7.
Okay.
Here's why. I'm going the complete way that you didn't go. Saquon Barkley was so dominant last year. I feel like they're gonna crowd the box and they're gonna try to make Jalen Hurts beat them this year.
They tried that last year.
They did, failed miserably. So they're gonna put AJ Brown is going to see a lot of one-on-ones this year. And I feel like if they can, the first time they went to the Super Bowl, they was a throwing team. That's the year Jalen Hurts, I think he was run up MVP. So he can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. Um, like you said in the red zone, if you on the 1 or the 2, forget about it. They pushing tushes over there in Philadelphia. If you anywhere from the 5 or the 9 or the 10, AJ Brown is the red zone target. Big guy, like I was saying about T. Higgins. Probably the physically, him and DK Metcalf is 1 and 2 muscular wise as far as wide receiver. So you're probably not going to out muscle him for no football.
You have to
Got
do that.
great hands. Yeah, so That's what I'm banking on this year. Also, they have a tough schedule. I don't think they're gonna blow a lot of people out. Jalen Hurts gonna have to throw the ball a little bit more this season. They're gonna key in on Saquon, so I think that's going to help AJ be AJ this year.
Yeah. Probably the worst thing you could do is if you have AJ Brown on your team, is draft Devontae Smith because if one gets the targets, the other one doesn't. That's how their offense
Hmm.
has worked in the past couple of years. AJ Brown would be the safer one.
Absolutely.
If I had Devontae Smith, I'd have him as a flex. But he's gonna have a few 100-yard games, and it's gonna surprise you when he does, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, why didn't I start him?"
Damn sure will.
Mm. Number 6, I got CD Lamb.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That is a shock.
CD Lamb had 101 catches for 1,194 yards and 6 touchdowns. He got another wide receiver on the other side that you got to pay attention to now. That's gonna open some things. Don't get me wrong. George Pickens is gonna want his targets, but with George Pickens being on that other side, you still got Ferguson who just re-signed. Um,
Hmm.
that's gonna open some things up for CeeDee Lamb. You can't double team him all the time. Dak knows him. Dak's gonna get him the ball. So let me guess, CeeDee Lamb wasn't even on your list.
Ooh, I gotta lean back for a second. That threw me.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Uh mm. My number six. That's going viral. My number six is Amon Ross St. Brown.
oh
For
shit.
reasons that you stated earlier, um, first of all, he's reliable. That's first thing. He's the number one target on a high throwing team. Um, Curious to see what this offense is gonna look like without Ben Johnson. He's had 100 catches and 1,100 yards three straight seasons. The reason I was going to put him in my top five, but the reason I didn't is because in this offseason he had his knee scoped. So he's been out for a while, slowly working himself back. And also for what you said earlier about Jamison Williams, I think they're going to incorporate Jamison Williams more, but I still think Amon Ra gonna be Amon Ra. So, ooh, boy, you are gonna go viral for what you just said.
Man, since you own the Sun God, I'm on Rod St. Brown. 115 catches for 1,263 yards, 12 touchdowns. Yes, he has Jameson Williams, which means you are not going to be able to double team. He still got Sam Laporta. You're not going to be able to double team. Um, I forgot about the knee injury well, the knee scope when I was putting my list together. So I had him at number 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He's going. Hey, it was tough. That top 5 was tough. And if you were surprised about number 4, you're gonna be surprised about number 5.
I may be. We on five. So who's your five?
Malik Neighbors.
Oh, that's my five.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
feel so
yeah. We
bad now.
no, we spot on with that one.
He gonna get the ball. I mean, the only other reliable wide receiver that I would even consider drafting at all within the draft for them is Wandale Robinson, and he would be late as a safety net. But Malik Neighbors, he's gonna get his touches. He had 109 catches, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Hmm. I'm
Um,
with you on that.
Whoever they have at quarterback is gonna throw in the ball,
Hmm.
which it looks like it's gonna be Russell Wilson to start the season. Um,
Yep.
by the end of the season, it may end up being Jackson Dart. If they start out slow or look like they from away from playoff contention, which they're gonna be, um, they might just get ready for the future and put Jackson Dart in there. Jameis Winston might not even be on the roster by game 4. He might be traded.
Yeah. So remember what I keep saying about bad teams? They got to throw the ball. He had four quarterbacks last year, four or five, four that I can remember off the top of my head, and he finished as the wide receiver seven last year.
Yeah,
Russell
Jones,
Wilson is going
DeVito,
to
and
be
who
the
else?
best. Doyle, DeVito, Daniel Jones. Was it Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod was at the Jets last year, wasn't he? No, no, you might be right. Tyrod might throw a couple balls.
It was at least four. It was at least four, but I remember them three. 11 targets per game was the average. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback that he's had in his short career. But we also know Russ loved to throw, as they call them, moon balls. Malik Neighbors pretty much catch everything that come his way. That's him.
And it's hard to
Uh,
overthrow him.
Hard to overthrow him. In that case, I feel like he has the potential to score more touchdowns on top of getting his catches and his yards. So I got him at number five.
Understandable. We went over my number four because he was your number six or seven.
Amon
Who you
Ra.
got it for? Yeah.
Yeah. So my number four is Puka Nakua. So I feel like if he's healthy with Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and Kyron Williams, he can be wide receiver three or better. After week 8, he was second to Jamar Chase in total wide receiver numbers, uh, yards, catches, and I think touchdowns as well. Maybe not touchdowns, but at least yards and catches. And now with Adams there, he's going to have more room to operate. I just feel like, man, I'm big. I'm a big Matthew Stafford guy. If I feel like I know Matthew Stafford is old, but as far as picking a defense apart and seeing defense, there's no defense that he has not seen. If you give him time and his offensive line is all coming back healthy, and he has one of the highest rated offensive lines, he gonna pick you apart. And I keep telling people if we don't make that tackle last year, they probably would have went to the Super Bowl last year. So at least they would have went to the championship game. If nothing else, they was going to the championship game. So I'm very big on Puka. And Cooper Cup is gone. So that large number of targets, it may go to Devontae, but I just feel like Matthew Stafford, he gonna get him the ball.
Okay, so Devontae's gonna play outside. Puka can play inside or outside, but I think he's more effective inside, which is what made Cooper Cup expendable. He will get a lot of those targets. Now he only had 3 touchdowns last year in 11 games, but he had
Mm-hmm.
79 catches for 990 yards. Full season with Matthew Stafford, the ability to play the inside and outside roles, Devontae Adams taking pressure off of you. I agree with everything you just said. He's my number three.
Uh, so it's my number three now.
Hmm.
Justin Jefferson is my number three. Uh, why you, why you look like that?
Well, I got a good idea who your number one is. I'm trying to figure out who your number two is. But yeah, go on, go ahead.
I mean, just over 1,400 yards every season he's been healthy. Over 125 targets every season he's been healthy. The only thing that Justin Jefferson has that would give you any kind of cause for pause is his quarterback. JJ McCarthy ain't looking too hot in training camp right now. Justin Jefferson has come out. He said it's gonna be fine. He's confident. He don't look upset. Another reason that I dropped him down to three, he's having a little hamstring issue right now. He's had a hamstring issue a couple of seasons now, so that's something to be mindful of. But every season that he's been healthy, he's finished wide receiver six or better.
If he's healthy, he's still my wide receiver number two. I mean, every year that he's been in that offense, no matter who's at quarterback, they are targeting him. They're scheming to get him the ball, and he does his fucking job.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit. LSU and fucking Ohio State wide receivers are the blueprint right now.
Facts.
They the blueprint. But I had Justin as my number two.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add or you want me to go?
I mean, you go ahead and go. I mean, you pretty much said everything that I was thinking, but I think no matter who they have at quarterback, he's gonna get the ball. You
Oh,
put
yeah.
me back there at quarterback, he gonna get 100 plus catches.
Put me back here. See what happened. Absolutely. Uh, my number two is CD Lamb.
Okay.
So the main reason, whenever, like I always say, whenever Dak get hurt, he come back the next season, he go nuts. And who's the beneficiary of the go nuts? CD. He finally
CD.
has a
So
legit
CD's nuts.
he has a legit wide receiver too. he he finally has a legit wide receiver too. So he's going to be open. He gets over 100. He's had over 100 targets every year he's been in the NFL. Had over 100 catches and 1,100 yards every year since his rookie season, and he almost eclipsed that his rookie season. You can't guard him one on one. You can't. This is Dak's guy. Dak knows if he don't get CD the ball, it's gonna be a problem. I don't know how George Pickens is going to fit in his offense. I'm pretty sure it'll be well. Like you said, they extended Jake Ferguson. This offensive line has declined. Their running game is questionable. Uh, I don't think Dallas is a Super Bowl contender. I think they can contend to be in the playoffs. And they right now presently constructed without playing no games. They're the third best team in the NFC East. They one of the maybe top 10 teams in the NFC, but they are not top five. And I feel like Dak is going to have to throw the ball a lot to keep them in the games and win the games because they got some problems with Micah and their defense ain't that good. So that's why I got CD number two.
The only reason I had CD lower than that and where I had him is because his wide receiver number two is easily wide receiver number one on half the teams in the NFL. He is
Mm-hmm.
gonna want the ball. They're gonna have to find a way to get him the ball also. So that may take away some of CD's targets. But that doesn't necessarily take away from CD's value because you can't just double team CD now. You
Can't.
have to respect the man on the other side. So that might open up things. So I can understand why you got him at number two. It sounds like we the same on number one, and it shouldn't have been a question with anybody.
Yeah. I don't think you can argue who number one is. We can pretty much end the show. This
Yes.
dude, man, won the Triple Crown last year. Probably got the best quarterback in the game. Just as far as just throwing the ball, just putting it on somebody, it's probably him. Man, Jamar, it ain't even nothing bad you can say. The only thing about Jamar Chase, I will say, and it's really not bad, his numbers may decrease, but it won't be by much.
Won't be much at all.
17 touchdown catches, over 1,700 yards. I mean, he just a guy. Like he just a guy. That's all.
127 catches. Um, he was he outscored the next closest wide receiver by over 85 points per reception points on ESPN.com. He posted 9 top 10 weekly finishes and was incredibly consistent. With his guy over there starting out the season, uh, T. Higgins starting out the season, I mean that's gonna open things up for him.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't nothing else for me to say about Jamar Chase. You know what it is. The man going number one overall in most drafts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. If he's sitting anywhere on the board, wherever I pick, I don't care who I already got on my keeper league. This is my guy. I'm taking him.
That's the guy. He's the guy right now. I feel like I haven't done a mock draft. If any of y'all, I will say this before we get out of here. If any of y'all want to do a mock draft, you can. If you got my number, you can text me. If not, you can DM me or send me a message on my Parlay Slayer Facebook page, and I'll set up a mock draft. We can do a mock draft, however you want to do it. I actually do need to do our league that we're doing this year for pushing the lines. Our inaugural league. It is a 2-quarterback league. You do have to draft different in a 2-quarterback league than you do a 1-quarterback league. Some people don't. Some people do. It's all preference. I do. If you in a 2-quarterback league and you don't have at least one good quarterback, you just donated money. I will tell you that. So, also, before we get out of here, we are on Spotify. So if you can't look at us, you can at least listen to us now.
Actually, we did get back on Spotify this week, but we are on the other platforms also. Apple, we pretty much on all the platforms now. So if you can't watch it, go listen. Taking that ride, and you need some info, hit it.
Absolutely.
So we doing
Um,
tight ends next week.
Next week, we are doing the top 10 tight ends, and I would love for you to come up with 46 tight ends next week.
You ain't even got to worry about that. You'd be lucky if I come up with 20.
So I
I'll
think
have a.
next week, I'm going to just do 15. I'm going to give
You
you
know what?
15.
I like that. Next week I'll have a top 10. I'll have 5 that's just outside of my top 10. And then if anybody's worth mentioning, I'll put together a list of where they stand with me. Other than that, we won't go over detail on them. But yeah, we can go over tight ends. I mean, you probably already know the list already, but shit. We do have a couple of spots left in our fantasy football league. Hit up me or Mike. We can get you that link. It will be $50 for the league that will be due before we draft, and the draft is on Saturday, August 30th at noon Central Standard Time. It will be an online draft. If you want to, we can put together a team's call and we can sit there and talk shit while we draft. I don't care. Let's do it.
Yep, we can do it. Oh, and it's on Yahoo.
Yahoo. Got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Uh, Let me think. No, I really don't, man. Preseason officially kicks off this week. So that'll give you something to look forward to, something else to bet on. Um, that's pretty much it, man. I will say
So,
next season, congrats to the Hall of Famers, Sterling Sharp, Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Eric Allen of the Philadelphia Eagles. Next season, I think the 4 for sure locks are Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore. I'm forgetting one. Phillip Rivers is eligible. He may get in. It's another one. I can't think. But anyway, those 3
so
getting in for sure.
speaking of Philip Rivers, his guy did get in, Antonio Gates, and he was the first NFL player to make the Hall of Fame that never took a snap of college football.
Never took a snap. That is amazing. Jason Witten, that's the other one.
Okay. Wood might get in.
Yeah, I think Witten will get in. But that's it. That's all I got.
Man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. If you got any questions or anything you want us to go over on the show, hit up either one of our social medias. Some of you got our phone numbers. Hit us up on the phone. Either way, we're here to make a show for you and just for the enjoyment of doing the show. We appreciate y'all. We out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. And Nelson talk, Nelson. Prince less, they can't. Magic's bets in the cut, got the game on lock. Flipping dimes, calling shots, every move non-stop. 615 parlay slayer, player odds like dice. In the trap house, betting lines, making racks feel nice. Pushing the line, we don't fold, don't shy. Cashing tickets, counting green to the sky. On the podcast we ball, roll the spread. Money talk, never walk back.